All right, welcome everybody to the MAIA Edge monthly must-dos for August. We're going to be talking about August, but first, I want to touch on July here, guys. We're in the middle of it. Well, first, you guys probably know this weekend we have MAIACon going on. So in the chat box, let me know who's going to be making their way here. Give me a thumbs up or ones and zeros or anything you want to type into the chat box. Let me see who's coming this weekend. We got Life Skill in the house. Mr. Joe, looking forward to seeing you guys. Mr. Blackman, Rodney's in. John Mark, Ian May leaves tomorrow. Mr. Taylor, Mr. Nguyen. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Looking forward to seeing everybody. Great. It's going to be an awesome event. We have more schools that are going to be here than we had last year, which is kind of cool. New speakers, obviously some old faces in terms of they've been here before, not in their age. That are going to be here. We're excited to have Claudia Gadelia as a special guest. If you guys don't know her story, we'll learn about that. Of course, the one and only Dave Kovar, Chris Rappold. We have a cool one with the guys that are starting up WMAC Masters again. If you don't know WMAC Masters, it was a old TV show that I used to watch when I was a preteen, young teenager. They're bringing that back, and so we're doing a little fight choreography with things that you can bring back to your school. Speaking of that, by the way, Mark, can you be ready a little bit later to show maybe a couple videos of the stunt lab that we did?
Yes, sir. I can definitely.
This is not something that we have ready for you guys yet. Some of you guys in the CMA family have access to some of this stuff, but we just got finished with our stunt lab camp, and it turned out really cool, which I think would be a good using what you learn at the Carmichael Simon and James Lee seminar could be something that you can use for that. So I'll just remind me, Mark, that not to skirt past that. But let's talk about July, guys. A lot of us are right in the middle of Christmas in July, have either started or about to start. Give me some feedback. How have we been doing? Any successes so far with Christmas in July? Put it in the chat box. What does that mean? Great success, Mr. Paquette. Awesome. I'd love to hear that. And it could be minor successes, by the way, too. Getting confirmation today on someone. Not much yet, still working on some. Guys, listen, keep going with the comments in there. First time doing it. It's all about the appointments. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were like, yeah, I got the emails out. We've got the posters out. We've got announcements to everybody. We'll let everybody know about the event. There's all the information out there. And then I asked one question. Who knows what my question was? I know Ms. Connor knows what the question is. I think Mr. Mark knows. But who knows what the question I asked him? Yes, exactly. How many appointments do you have set? And he told me, well, we're in the process now. I was like, no, you get on that phone right now, and we are setting appointments. That's what it's all about right now. More opportunities for us to give people the opportunity to save on their program, right? So we need as many appointments as possible. Mr. Moore, one paid in full retail, almost $1,000. That's awesome. Awesome. Keep it going. Listen, we just need more at-bats with this. So the magic number I gave this person was 40. I want to get 40 appointments. If you do more, great. If you do under, that's okay too. But ideally, we want to try to get that 40 number. It just seems for some reason to be that magic number to success, right? To getting where you want to be. So let's try to hit as many appointments as we can. Again, I'll just reiterate with the 5 list. Typically, we talk about 4, but the 5th one's going to be about trials. So first list being anybody who's a previous paid in full. The second list being anybody who's eligible to upgrade. The third list being any and all renewals between now or anybody who hasn't renewed yet that should have, all the way through. To be honest with you, you could look at that list all the way through to December 1st, which is right before the next holiday event that we're going to be doing. Anybody who expires, given the opportunity to save. The 4th list is going to be anybody who has a very high balance. I would go from your top 10 highest balances. And then if you're not getting traction on those, you can hit those. And then the 5th list is going to be anybody who's on a trial, a 2-week trial, a 4-week trial. You can do your summer special that you got. And all of those guys we want to try to enroll. And then once they decide they're going to enroll, give them the opportunity to take advantage of 1824 36 if they decide to pay in full. Vincent, your question here is, if they are due for an upgrade, are we still trying to get them to do a pay in full? We're going to give them the option. Yeah, for sure. The answer is yes. So if they're due for an upgrade, great, awesome. We're going to get them upgraded, excited about the program, the values and benefits of that. And then at the end of the day, I'm going to present them with A, B, C, and D. The only difference is now if they do A on the upgrade, they're going to get an additional 5% in our book. And then everything else is basically the same. So if they want to get the extra savings, you do the paid in full. But you have also the option to do B, C, and D, the monthly options there. Great question. So guys, that's right now. Let's finish July off extremely strong and make sure everybody's getting that opportunity. Let me just say one little trap that people tend to fall into is that they try to overqualify people for appointments. In theory, everybody in your school can save on their program. So that means every single family or every single contract or program that you have in your school can save on their program technically. We want to have as many of those conversations as possible. And the more, again, the more at bats you have, the more chances you hit those home runs. Steph, anything you want to add to that?
No, I think that wraps up the event pretty well. I mean, of course, if anybody has any questions, if you have any objections as you're going through it, please feel free to reach out, and I'd love to help you guys walk through that.
Yeah, and that's either if you want to do it one-on-one, or if you want to later on or right now in the chat ask that question, you can. But again, that's going to be our biggest way to generate revenue from this event. Is going to be through the programs. That's going to be new students, upgrades, and renewals. But then don't forget about the other things too. Package your retail, package your private lessons, package your you can do your testing fees if you do testing fees, package your special events, and this is a great way to get higher ticket items sold at your school. Okay. Questions, comments, or concerns before we move on to August? All right. So guys, listen, August, you're going to notice on the website that there's not a revenue generator, a technical revenue generator. You had somebody sneaking behind you, Ms. Connor. There's not a technical revenue generator. And the reason why is we really wanted to focus the month of August in recruiting. A lot of us are getting into back to school season. I know some people don't start till after Labor Day in September, but that's okay. We can take these things and apply them to both August and September for that matter. So let me just quickly share my screen here. And then again, when you log in, go to planning for August. And then right off the bat, there's 3 recruiting tools. We have a back to school special, which we typically do a 4-week special there. We have a Become Unstoppable seminar. This is a new twist on a free community event, basically a mass enrollment. And then Grow Strong 2-week course, another take on your 2/4-week courses that we do. So let's just quickly look at the back to school special. The theme here is let's get these kids off of their devices. It's funny. I had my niece in town for 5 days, and I was astonished by just how glued she is to her device. Like that's her. Whenever she has any free time, it wasn't playing with toys or anything. It was like, let me just get on my device. I know as a parent, I don't want that for my child. I want them to be active. I want them to be doing things. So this is what this is for. Getting into back to school season, we want them to be focusing on what's important, have confidence, and then taking action on those things. So we got the back to school special here. Mark, any tips? I know we're coming into back to school. There's going to be a lot of promotions, I believe, social media wise and digital marketing. Anything that they should be focusing on? I'm going to stop sharing real quick.
Yeah. So in terms of, on the digital side of promoting your back to school, I mean, I'm going to say it all the time. First thing is just make sure that the offer is very, very clear. We make it pretty clear on our on all of our, stuff that we provide you guys. So, it's going to be that, kind of lower price point, 4 weeks for 49, 2 weeks for 29, whatever you feel is going to work best in your area. But just really make sure that that's really clear on what they what the offer is, and then make it pretty much available anywhere digitally. I mean, put it on your website. We're with Market Muscle, so they have the ability to make a pop-up. So, in that back to school season, we're going to put some Google Ads money in there. So we'll be driving people to our website, and then boom, right when they land on any of our program pages to learn more, they'll get a pop-up that says, hey, try our, it's back to school, 4 weeks 49. If you have a CRM, if you have any cold leads or maybe people that opted in the summer special but didn't necessarily come or buy the trial itself, just hit them with another offer like this. It's just a great time because a lot of parents are going to be kind of researching and looking for things for their children to do as they get back into school. So this is going to be a great time to kind of capture their just capture their attention and say, hey, we have a really great offer for you. We want to get you to come into the school, train with us for a little bit. And then the last thing is kind of be a little bit more active inside some of your community groups. So here in Orlando, we're in the Avalon community here. And, I'm part of like a neighborhood kind of Facebook group here in Orlando. And that's going to be a great place to kind of put, these kind of offers out there if they do allow you to, post kind of promotions like that. So again, just really take advantage of, just using that offer wherever you can. And then last but not least, if you are going to be running ads, maybe you have somebody like Grow Per Agency or somebody helping out with your marketing. Again, just make sure that they're making that offer super, super clear. I want them to know that they're getting this for this price point, how many classes a week, whatever it might be. And then just make sure it's really easy to follow up with those people.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned something about getting people to come to your school. You're kind of segueing into my thing here with the next one. But before I do that, anything, Ms. Connor, that we should be focusing on with the 4 weeks for 49?
Back to school special.
Yeah, the back to school special.
I mean, that's going to be something that you're going to want to market on social media, really, because what we're doing in the schools is going to be that free seminar. And right now, I would be trying to either build or nurture my relationship with the elementary schools. So if you know that they're already back into their offices, start going in there, reintroduce yourself, welcome them back, and start to basically open doors again so that you can get in there and get face to face with your clientele so that you can get those flyers out there.
And speaking of that, I think it's important now. This is the time of year to try to get back into those relationship building opportunities. So go to your local elementary schools. If you haven't done so yet, introduce yourself. If they already know you, go back, say, hey, we're excited about the new year. Anything that you need coming up, we've got some reams of paper here for you guys, but we've got to get these relationships established now because we're going to try to get people to come to our mass enrollments, which let me just show you real quick. But we can't do that if we don't have a way to get focused attention on that, which is what Ms. Connor was talking about. So what we like to do is when we do reestablish those relationships, revisit our partners in education. One of the deals is that we get to show up to the open houses or the Meet the Teacher events, right? So these Meet the Teacher events happen typically the week before school starts, and they're exactly what it says. You get to go out there, meet your teacher. The teachers do a little introduction, and there's hundreds of students and families that are coming. Well, at that booth, I could do the 4 weeks for 49, but what we found that works best is we have this event that we're promoting. You could passively have the 4 weeks for 49, but I want to drive everybody to this free community event. In this case, we're doing the Become Unstoppable seminar. Confidence inside and outside the classroom, which is very generic. There's a couple kids kicking, positive, strong, confident kid on the front. But all we're going to be focusing on is getting people to come to this free community event that's going to boost confidence and going to help them perform well at school in and out of the classroom, right? So it's all editable in Canva, right? So you can, put whatever time, date, your address, and then coupon code to register for those of you guys that digitally have people register for events. But the whole goal here is I want to get tons of people coming to the event. You could to use some people use the spin wheel, some people use Bob to just get traction and excitement for people coming to your table. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to book as many appointments as possible to get people to come to this free seminar, which that turns into opportunities for us to enroll people at that mass enrollment. And then lastly here, we have our 2-week course. Again, just a different look. We have a plethora of different 2-week and 4-week course flyers. Again, this is editable. If you do a 3-week, if you do a 4-week, if you do a 2-week, you can do all of these and just get this information out. Again, QR code area. That's all editable. You can take that in and out if you want to. But our whole goal with the 2-week course is we kind of frame it for the school as a fundraiser, right? Whether that's for the school, for the PTA, we decide what we want to do there. But it's a fundraiser to raise money to give to the principal's discretionary fund, to the PTA or PTO, and all proceeds from that go directly to that school or that group, right? Now, the 2-week course is done on campus typically. We do 4 classes over the course of 2 weeks. So if you do a 4-week course, we do 1 class over the course of 4 weeks. And the whole goal of that is to get the students and the families excited about coming to the graduation, where they're going to earn their white belt, break through a board. We're going to have a pizza party. And again, this is just another opportunity to do a mass enrollment. Cool thing with the 2-week course is that you, as the instructor and your team, have the ability to develop rapport with the students. And then by getting their contact information, develop rapport with the parents and the families prior to the event, letting them know how their child did, making those extra phone calls and emails. And when they come to the event, there's a little bit more of a connection as opposed to a free community event where, yeah, we're going to get people signed up, but I think the conversion rates are much higher at a 2-week course than they would be at a mass enrollment like a free community event. So let's see here. Brad Fantel, would you recommend doing these seminars the weekend school starts or the weekend after? Great. We actually do it for us. We do it the weekend before. So in our school system, school starts, I think, the 10th, right, of August, 10th or 11th. Let me look at my calendar. Oh, no, it looks like it starts is it that Monday, Ms. Connor?
It's that Monday, yeah.
Okay, so they start the 11th. Meet the teachers for us are the week of August 4th. So we're trying to drive everybody to that Saturday the 9th or Friday the 8th free community event, mass enrollment, right? So they're coming to that free community event. So that's technically the weekend before school starts. That's what works best for us, and where we get tons of students. Like we'll have some schools in that weekend get 20, 30 students in one weekend. Mr. Blackman,
But we also use the weekend afterward as a follow-up. So if people don't make it, if they, for whatever reason, aren't available that first weekend, then you can use the second weekend as your backup.
Exactly. Yeah. So this time of year, especially if you start in August, this time of year is prime to do. I would say, depending on how many opportunities you have to get in front and get the information out, prime to get tons of people coming to these events. With that being said, too, this isn't just for those people that you meet at those events. Any old leads that you've had that have inquired, that have come into the school, maybe didn't sign up or inquired and you never got them into the school, we're inviting all of our leads, all past people who have come tried out class and never signed up, and we're going to try to invite them to this free community event and hopefully get them enrolled. Mr. Blackman says here, we also take photos of the students in a 2-week course and send to the parents. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so that's something that you can do in that 2-week course to show that there's some, they get to see what their child is doing within that 2-week course. And when we send emails, I like to give a little bit of a description of what they actually did, right? And how they're actually improving, getting better. So that's those are the 3 real big recruiting ideas that we're focusing on come August. Any feedback there, Ms. Connor or Mr. Mark? Listen, this is I can go on and rant about this, but it's very simple right now. This is one of the biggest times of year to get new students, is this back to school season. That being said, this is also one of the biggest times of year where you can lose students. So we've got to have 2 focuses right now. Yes, we want to drive as many new students into our school as possible, and that's why we have all of these things in place. But I don't want to sign up 30 students just to lose 30 students. So make sure we're doing everything right now in the end part of the summer into back to school season to make sure we're keeping our students. I'll just show you one quick retention thing that you can do. And this is easy. This is a back to school bash. Something fun, something exciting. It's just a back to school party that we're going to be doing. But what I would do is make announcements in class about this back to school party, make it something that's going to be super exciting for every one of our students that come to, send emails out, texts, and then when you guys, hopefully we're making retention phone calls to people, don't just make retention phone calls to say how much you appreciate them. That should be part of it. Make retention phone calls to paint a picture of what's to come as well. Not just in their personal training, but you can also literally make a retention focus of what's to come by just letting them know, hey, we've got this back to school party. I want to see you there. Do you have any friends that you want to bring to the back to school party? Or whatever it is, we've got to paint the picture of the future. Miss Connor, you looks like you want to say something.
Yeah, so previously, I don't know if it was in June or May, but we talked about possibly doing tickets over the summer for our current students to earn when they come to class, when they participate in special events like Spirit Week or anything like that. And we also talked about kicking it on vacation or rolling through the summer if you're jujitsu school. But basically they shout you out on Facebook and tag your school, and they show a picture of whatever they're doing for summer vacation, and that was a way for them to earn additional tickets. So the back to school bash is a great place for you guys to basically hand out those prizes and make it just a fun retention event.
100%. So guys, yes, huge opportunities to get new students into the school. A big recruiting month, but don't forget about the retention, because again, we say it all the time, there's 3 times where we lose students: into summer, out of summer, and into the holiday, in and out of the holidays.
Can I take
Yeah,
this
great
one?
question. Yeah, great, Mr. Lockman. I like doing it after school starts personally, because it gives the students an opportunity to meet new friends in school, and hopefully we get to have them bring their buddies into the back to school bash. So I like doing it a couple of weeks after school, 2 to 3 weeks after school starts, so that way they can invite some new friends potentially. Because you know how it is. Sometimes they invite friends, you do these buddy days, and it's like their buddy who already takes karate classes, which is cool, but we want to get new blood into the school. So this is where an event like this can help, right?
Also makes things a little bit less stressful for you, so you can focus on your mass intros first 2 weekends, and then you can have the back to school bash.
And the cool thing too, with getting buddies to come to the back to school bashes, now I've got a new crop of people that I can invite to a mass intro that following weekend. All right. Questions from anybody? Comments, concerns?
Mr. Perry,
Mr. Mark?
did we want to show them the stunt lab video or two?
I'm glad you reminded me. So I was talking about Carmichael Simon. Who remembers Carmichael Simon from back in the day? I remember when I used to compete back in the day, and he was the top guy in my division in forms. Now he's doing some cool stuff with the WMC Masters and James Lee, and they're going to be doing a fight choreography seminar at the MAIA event. And we just got finished doing a stunt lab camp, and I didn't know the extent of this. I thought it was just going to be, hey, we're going to do some cool fight scenes here. Mark just sent this over to me. Well, these guys went above and beyond. Shout out to our team. I'm talking Mark, I'm talking Brian, I'm talking all of the instructors at our schools that put together this cool concept of learning how to make martial arts cool on camera and making the students look cool as well. Here, let me just pull this up. Mark, you want me to play all of these?
It was just 2 of them. Yeah, I just sent like some of the division winners we had. So we did have divisions in this, and we had a couple of our instructors come out and judge. They were mainly the ones, Mr. John. If you guys have ever met him, he's a has some experience in stunt work, and then some of our more like trick oriented instructors came out and judged the division. So it was pretty cool.
All right, let me figure this out here. Make this theater mode, and then I'll share my screen with you guys. Check this out. Share. So after a week of training, they did filming, and then our guys created this. So they did a little something there. I thought it was kind of cool. You said there was one more here.
Yeah, I believe there was one more.
All right, there's a lot of like kid violence going on here. What's going on? Hold on. Let me play this one more time. Let me share my screen real quick before I do that.
What's your problem with something burning up? Bring it.
Right, so we got some hams in our schools here. But anyways, I thought it was cool. Great feedback from the parents that have done. We do a series of these we call them HIT academies, which are basically high intensity training camps. And they said this was probably their favorite one, just because I think the experience was kind of cool, different than just going out there doing a fight club or doing a demo camp or continuous fighting camp that we're going to be finishing with. And they haven't even seen these clips yet. Actually, you just posted them the other day, so they're probably seeing them for the first time. But just an idea of how you can take something to a different level. If you guys are doing some type of camp or you're doing some type of seminar, what we can do to make that experience even different. I think the parents thought it was a fun event for the students and are looking forward to the next one. So thanks for sharing that, Mr. Mark. And that's it, guys. I appreciate your time. Thank you, Mr. Usello. I'll let the kids know 2 people told them they look good. I'm just kidding. All right, everybody. I appreciate all of you guys. Looking forward to seeing all of you guys that are coming to MAIACon. Those of you guys that aren't able to make it, if you're a MAIA Elite member, remember you can catch the recordings in the MAIA Elite portal. If you're not in MAIA Elite yet, and you want questions about it, reach out to us. There's a lot of cool benefits to being a MAIA Elite member. And we appreciate all of you guys. Thanks for coming. Gonna see you soon. Yes, sir. Yeah, Coach Gigi. I can't wait to see you, Coach Gigi. Thank you very much, Mr. Paquette. Guys, awesome job. Let's finish this month off strong and let's get August really cranking with new students. All right, everybody. We'll see you there. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Miss Stephanie.